and everything just falls into place. When I was working over at Ivory, national trainer, I visualized myself. Do you believe in the law of attraction? Yeah? When you visualize on something enough, you get drawn to it. Whether it's success, which is an open word, whether it's working nationally. For me, I visualized myself, I was working in that office over there, I visualized myself working nationally around the country. And they got rid of 46 staff in that office. I was the only one left. They said, Vikas, can you go to Dudley and work from there? Oh, but now we want you to work nationally. Somehow, when you focus on something enough, you focus on your goal enough as to what you want to do, it will come to you. You don't worry too much about how, but then you must start taking an action process as well. There's a little process within that as well. So you start taking small action steps. Yeah? People know what to do, don't they? Most people you speak to, they know what to do, don't they? They'll tell you, oh, you need to do this, but they don't do what they know. You know what you should be doing. You're doing the right thing here by coming on the right course. Yeah? People know what to do, but don't do what they know. That's a common problem. Yeah? Write that down. Know what to do, but don't do what they know. Write it down. Yeah, take a picture. I'm going to send you this anyway. Yeah? People know what to do, but don't do what they know. You need to do what you know. And the word there, can you see it there? The word that comes to mind, it's on the board, it's called procrastination. Big word. That's what it's called, procrastination. I need to do this tomorrow, I need to do that on Friday, but you don't do it, do you? I need to have my hair cut. I don't really, I'm okay, right? But I need to buy a new pair of, but you don't do it. I need to buy the kids some clothes. Something urgent that I need to do, but you don't do it. And there's various reasons why you don't do it. Sometimes it can be fear. 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 F-E-A-R. False. False. F stands for false. E stands for expectation. Yeah. False, sometimes it's fear. False expectation appearing real. Fear. We fear things. We fear, oh, I know I can do this job. I know I can do it. But even though I can do it, I don't feel, oh, I'm not going to get this job. Can you see the negative conversations going on there? I'm not going to get this. I don't feel 100% confident. Oh, say if I don't get it. Say if they reject me. Oh, but I've done my master's. With a master's degree, you say. It's a master's degree. Why shouldn't they take me on? What's going on here? 70% of our thoughts, 70%, write this down, are negative. Change the thought process. Change the questions. Change the thought process and change the questions. There's a guy by the name of Viktor Franklin, he wrote a book. This guy now, Nazi concentration camps, Germany, these guys were slaughtered. Some of you come from third world countries, you know what I'm talking about. They were killed. He went to prison. Anybody that went to prison in Germany, they are awaiting the death sentence. So 99% of them, their mindset is the date. They wait for the date when they're going to be gassed and murdered by the Germans. And they perform experiments on them as well. Cut off limbs. So they're waiting. Viktor Franklin went in. He's a believer in God. Everybody's waiting for their dates. Viktor Franklin is not waiting for his dates. It's a true story. You know, he's thinking. Questions. 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 How can I get out? How can I get out? How can I get out? How can I escape this place? How can I get out? 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 Quick, over. How can I get out? How can I get out? How can I do this? How can I get out? One day, if he carried on with those questions, his head, the other questions, the negative ones, waiting for the day, he would never got out. One day, they were dumping some bodies. He took off his clothes and dived into the flesh. He had one chance. He dived into the flesh, naked, pretended to be dead. They took their bodies and they dumped them. That's how he escaped. But he had the question in his mind all the time. How can I? How can I? Don't say why am I? Don't say why. Why am I fat? I'm looking at you. No, I'm not looking at you for. I'm not saying. I'm just giving an example. But why does this always happen to me? Why haven't I got a job? Wrong question. Wrong question. How can I change the way I am? How can I get a job? Don't ask why, ask how. Sometimes it's good to ask why, but don't ask why, but ask how. Because you want to look to the future. Am I right? Do I make sense? Yeah? So we're asking how. We're going down the how route. That's why you're here. Not because you're saying, oh, I can't get a job. Why can't I get a job? What seems to be the problem? Is it a training issue? How can I? You're focusing on the positive then. Yeah, the right questions. Okay, and that's about taking, when you say how, guess what happens? Magical answers appear. Right, the first thing we need to start with, get rid of all the sugar in the house. Yeah, would you agree? Sugar, chocolate biscuits, yeah, whatever, cakes, yeah, that's the first start. Secondly, do some research. If it's about your weight, I'm not talking about your weight, I'm just giving you an example that different options will appear when you start asking how, okay? Right, one thing I want to say to you as well, some people don't know this, it's a little bit of employability, but one thing I want to say to you is very clear here. Well, let me ask you first, how are you searching for jobs? What are you doing currently? What are you doing? Internet? Internet? How do you search for jobs? Internet? Okay, if you want a paid job, are you buying the Thursday paper? What are you doing now currently? What's your strategy now? What are you doing now to look for work? Volunteer centre? You volunteering? Volunteering is very good as well. What else are you doing? What are you? Courses. Courses are good, yeah. What are you doing? Internet online. Soda. Online. Any particular websites? Indeed. Indeed are very good. They're okay. Yeah. Library, job centre, internet. This is now we're coming back to the outcome, aren't we now? Am I right? We're coming right back to our outcome, the job. What you've all said to me at the start this morning, the job. Right, I'm going to tell you something now, very clearly. 80% of the jobs, yeah, are hidden. Hidden job market. Yeah? Everything you see out there advertised is 20%. Write that down. Yes. Everything you see out there is 20%. That's a fact. I don't care what anybody says to you. That's a fact. Yeah? People will say you do this, you do that. Okay, yep, I'll tell you straight now. 20% is only out there. Only 20%. 80% is hidden. Yeah? That's the truth. Hey, the reason why I say that, I know people come from India now. They've never had to go to job centre. Never. Yeah, they're working all the time. I know Polish people come here, never go to the job centre. Yeah, if they don't go out with work, they find friends, they network. Network. N-E-T-W-R-O-K. Network. I'm not saying you're not networked enough, but I'm saying you maybe aren't networked. That's one aspect. All right, now, the other thing I was going to say to you is this. With regards to the job market, and you're only going for 20% of those jobs, how long does it take for a situation to change within a company or organisation? I'll say that again. How long does it take for a situation to change within a company or organisation? Tell me. For a job to appear, how long will it take? Within a heartbeat, within the blink of an eye, something can change. That's the truth. When I went and applied, I didn't apply for this job, the national trainer job. I didn't apply for it. I went to see them about business, courses. I was a freelancer, I'm still a freelancer. And they turned around to me and said, VIKAS, why don't you work for us? They said, why don't you? There was no advertisement in that job role. VIKAS, why don't you work for us? I said, okay, let me think about it. 2 weeks later, I had a phone call. We need to speak to you in the office. Come and see us. There was nothing advertised. That's another good example of most of my jobs are non-advertised.